Because Pinterest. Hey guys, it's Ellie, and welcome back to Beauty Hacks, Fail or Holy Grail, where we test Pinterest beauty hacks and see if they're a fail, or a holy grail, or a holy fail. Today we are doing DIY temporary tattoos, and as you guys may know, I have a few permanent ones of my own, so we've got something good to test against today, and we're going to be trying two different methods. So for this hack, you will need some tracing paper, a regular pencil, some pens or some eyeliner pencils. Just a note on this, I'm going to be using waterproof eyeliner pencils for one of ours today, and then I'm going to be using pens for the other. I've read that Sharpies can be very damaging to your skin, so I can't recommend them or not. That's going to be your personal decision. I'll be using water-based pens. Some baby powder, a washcloth, a powder brush, and hairspray or liquid Band-Aid. I wanted to get the spray liquid Band-Aid, but they didn't have it, so I have the kind with the brush. That might get complicated later. We'll find out. But each application takes one of these, so you'll just have to choose which one you want to use and then buy the product that goes with it accordingly. It'll make more sense when we get started. Let's go ahead and jump over to our little testing desk back there, and we're gonna jump in right now. Okay, so we've got our tracing paper. I'm gonna put that right here. And then I've got these little cupcake stickers that I bought at the craft store the other day, and I'm gonna use these as a little stencil for the tattoos that I wanna do. So I'm gonna just trace a few of these. That's the first step. No matter what you're doing, you have to either trace something you wanna do, or if you're gonna write, you can freehand or trace a font or whatever. The whole purpose of this DIY is to be able to have a tattoo transfer so that if you're not comfortable freehanding on your own skin with stuff, then you can use transfers, and this should do the trick. So we're gonna find out if it works. So the first step is to obviously trace your little image or your font or whatever it is with a pencil on the transfer paper. Alright, so one thing we've learned is that my drawing skills are a little bit strange, but you know, we are gonna work with what we have. So now we're gonna just do one that's writing so that we can cover that base. I'm gonna just go ahead and do some script. I'm gonna freehand this one because it's easier, and then we'll move on from there. Alright, so there's our little scripty. And now we need to cut all of these out. These obviously are gonna serve as our transfers, so you're gonna wanna cut it fairly close to your actual image so that you don't have all this extra paper like around. Alright, so here are our little tattoo templates. And something to note is that when you're using text, or really anything, you're gonna be putting this face down on your skin, so you need to trace it backwards as well so that when it actually goes onto your skin, it's gonna be facing the right way so it's readable. So now I need to trace the back of this with pencil again so that when I apply it backwards, when I take it off, it'll be right side up, you know? So obviously for the cupcakes, that doesn't matter. I think they're fairly reversible. And do these even look like cupcakes to you? I think they do. So I'm gonna go ahead and trace this backwards. All right, so interesting thing that just happened. As I was tracing, the pencil from the other side of my tracing paper transferred onto my desk. So I guess that's a good sign. I mean, it's definitely transferring to something. So looks like we're on the right track. So let's go ahead and get these little guys on my skin. So go ahead and get your rag very wet. You want it to be very, very wet right here because this is the part that we're gonna use to transfer. This is just like any store-bought tattoo transfer that you've done before. It's literally the same process, just with tracing paper instead of slide paper. So go ahead and find where you wanna put your tattoo, and then you just wanna flip it over so it's pencil side down on your skin. And we're not gonna be too exact with this because they're just cupcakes and I've already got tattoos, so it doesn't have to be, you know, any kind of lined up. It just does not matter. So you wanna do that, and then you're gonna take your wet washcloth and you're gonna place it on top of your little cupcake for 30 seconds. Once your 30 seconds has passed, peel back your wet towel and make sure that it looks very moist. To me, it looks like there may be some dry spots, but I think for the most part it's moist, and we're gonna give it a go as it is. So now you just wanna peel back your paper and make sure that the pencil is on your skin, and if it's not, then you need to put more liquid on it. So let's see. It's like not really there. Okay, I think we need more wetness. All right, that's looking properly soaked. Let's try it again. We're just gonna go for it this time. We've given it 2 tries. Oh, that's so much better. So now you can see I've got a cupcake on my arm, and I can't say I've ever had that before, but I like it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of them. All right, as you can see, that one gave me some trouble. That's probably because it was like a round part of my arm and it was hard to get the paper flat. That would have been easier if I had about 3 extra hands. So I think I've got enough of a guide that we should be okay. I'm hoping. So we're just gonna try to make it work. But you know, I got 2 cupcakes and 1 Ellko fam, and I think we are good to start. So for this first cupcake, I'm going to be using these eyeliner pencils I bought at the drugstore. They are Prestige waterproof eyeliner pencils, and I believe that I have a lip liner pencil in waterproof as well. So let's make some cupcakes. Alright, now for the others, we're going to switch to our pens. These are Derwent graphic line painter pens. So it's kind of paint pen, but also not. I don't know, it's a weird felt tip, but I bought it because it's water-based. Like I said before, I felt like that was probably the safest option for my skin, so I'll be listing all of this stuff on Amazon where I can find it if you want to buy the stuff. Check the links down below. Alright, so now you're supposed to put some baby powder right onto your tattoo, just like a little bit, if you can even do that. I'm having trouble. I think that should be sufficient. And then you just dust it off with a powder brush. And I'm not really sure what the function of this is really. I could not honestly tell you that I know. That was quite a bit. But all of the pins say to do it. So that's what we're doing, because Pinterest. Alright, so baby powder all wiped off. So now our job is to set it. We're going to use hairspray for the eyeliner one. I'm just using this Herbal Essences stuff. I use it all the time. It's just my favorite. And I'm just going to spray that on there. That should set it in. Let's find out. That was quite a bit. I just have a heavy hand with these things, what can I say? And then for these up top, I'm going to be using the liquid Band-Aid, which I know for a fact claims to be waterproof. That scares me, especially because this Ellko fam one looks like it has seen better days. I just don't know if I'm even gonna set that. I mean, guys, like, this just does not look good. So I may have to redo this one another time. We'll see. So like I mentioned before, if you can find the spray version of liquid Band-Aid, that would obviously be the best choice. For right now, all we have is the brush, so we're gonna try to make it work, and I'm hoping it's not gonna smudge this all over the place. So I'm just gonna rub this on. Now I will say these markers bleed into your skin more than the eyeliner does, but it gives you a nice matte look. I feel like it's a little bit crisper. Maybe not, I'm not sure. That's actually not a true statement. But anyways, so as much as I would love to get Ellko fam tattooed on my body forever, it definitely could happen in real life. I'm gonna not set this one just because it looks kind of crazy. So at least we can test the cupcakes for their waterproofness, and then I guess we'll test the markers on their own for their waterproofness. But yes, so I'm gonna let both of these dry, and once they're dry, we're gonna run it under water and see if either of them fade. So while I wait for this to dry, because it feels like it's gonna take about 8 years, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a transfer with the pens on their own. I'm gonna just write directly on the paper, and I'm gonna try to transfer that without the pencil and see if I can get the color directly. Because if we can do that, then you don't have to draw on your skin with the colors, because I felt like that just made it weird. So let's see what we can do. Alright, so I've got it backwards. I'm gonna lay it down right here and see if we can make this transfer just the pink and not the pencil. Alright, the moment of reveal, and so far it's not looking very good. Oh no. Okay, so absolutely no, not with these pencils, or pens rather. I don't know if it's because they're water-based or what, but I mean, it was pretty moist. As you saw, it like bled all over itself and all over my skin. I mean, this is not even close to what was on the sheet. So that's a fail for me. Obviously, writing on the back of this with a water-based pen and trying to transfer it to your skin with water is just a watery mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this method a fail. So I'm about to wash this off, and I'm looking at this dried liquid Band-Aid. I don't know if I would call this good looking. It's kind of shrivelly and weird. So just keep that in mind. If you're really looking forward to having like a matte, nice finish, this kind of just looks like liquid Band-Aid over pen. So just for what it's worth. Let's see if it washes off. Alright, with some light rubbing and the water flow, it's definitely faded. I wouldn't call that waterproof, but to be fair, the top of this cherry did come off when we tried to do the last Ellko fam higher up. So, but I mean, overall, this isn't gonna stay with any vigorous water stuff or rubbing. Let's move on to the next cupcake. Alright, so this cupcake made it through. With the liquid band-aid on top, I mean, it is invincible. It didn't even move at all. So you can actually see the water's kind of just pooling on top of it. It's not going anywhere. Even with some rubbing, I don't really see any huge difference. The Ellko Fam original that wasn't sealed with hairspray or anything is obviously gone. So I'm sorry, Ellko Fam. I really tried. I gave it my best effort, but not today. Okay, so I just started to dry it and I'm seeing there's some cracking happening, so let's just keep that in mind when we fix the verdict. So now you've seen it. I don't know, the way I feel about this is kind of just like meh. You know, it's definitely not a holy grail for me, especially in my experience today. I feel like if you had amazing art skills, or if you had someone doing it for you who had amazing art skills, or even like passable art skills, I just don't have those, and I don't have a steady enough hand. I'm just not the person to be a tattoo artist. I don't know. It could work, maybe, possibly, but I doubt you're gonna get waterproof. You know, I would bet that the Sharpie version works, but like I said before, you really have to decide what you want to put on your skin, what's healthy for you. You know, ask your parents, Google it, do some research. I'm not gonna say either way what's safe or what's not. That's just not my place. But for me, it's a fail. I was very impressed with how the pencil transferred from the tracing paper, so there's definitely a cool factor there, but as far as getting the job done of giving you a waterproof temporary tattoo, the pens I used, the methods I used today didn't cut it. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys have found a method for this that works, that's a holy grail. You may want to rate this a holy fail. I'm definitely not opposed to rating it a holy fail. I'm somewhere in between fail and holy fail in my mind. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Have you guys tried this before? Do you guys do this all the time? Did I just totally do it wrong? Who knows? We'll find out. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful day. I will see you next time. If you want to leave requests for future Fail or Holy Grails, leave them in the link down below. If you want to buy one of these amazing Fail or Holy Grail shirts, there's also a link for that down below as well. Like I said before, have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.